Hey guys, quick video today. I want to talk about safety features on firearms, specifically pistols used for defensive purposes. Now, this pretty much comes out of a conversation I had with somebody in the comments of one of my videos where basically the guy said people with Glocks are less safe than people with Springfield XDs because Springfield XDs have grip safeties to keep them safe and they have loaded chamber indicators to tell them the condition of their gun even in the middle of the night. Now, let's address the safety side of this first. First and foremost, okay? For a long time, hammer-fired pistols were the design, all right? You do look at 1911s and several other designs that we had for, the last 100 years. Because of their design, because of the hammer-fired system in general, they required some sort of safety because they were much more prone to accidental or negligent discharge than other types of pistols were. So they needed either a grip safety or a thumb safety or both or whatever. Now fast forward a little bit, you get to pistols like the Beretta, the SIG, and you get to a pistol that's pretty much the same thing. It's a single action, hammer fired gun, but it can also decock, okay, into double action. Doesn't need a safety. This gun right here, the P228, and many SIGs out there have no safety on them at all. They just have a decocker. So we've kind of started to eliminate the need for a safety on even hammer-fired pistols. But we're talking about modern striker-fired pistols. We're talking about Glocks and SR9s and M&Ps and XDs, all right? These guns, the striker-fired system in general was designed from the ground up to not require the use of a safety. You can basically take a gun, load one in the chamber, and throw it on the ground, it's not going to go off. As long as you keep your finger off the trigger, it's not going to go off. It was designed to be that way. It does not require a safety to protect you from anything. Okay? It's not going to have an accidental discharge. Just don't put your finger on the trigger. Now, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just a guy who makes videos. I do my best to try and stay proficient and stay trained with my firearms, but I am no expert, all right? Listen to people like Masad Ayub. Listen to guys that have spent decades learning this stuff, that not only learned this stuff, but that get called in to train military and law enforcement on how to use their pistols in defensive and offensive situations. These people tell you that having additional safeties on a firearm that does not require it is simply something that gets in between you and that defensive situation. It's simply one more thing you have to remember to do before you can engage in a defensive situation and protect yourself or protect others. It's simply one more moving part on a firearm that, even though it has little chance of doing so, could go wrong when you need that firearm the most. Now, I will argue that something like a grip safety, where you just grab the gun and go, is not anything that's going to get in your way. It's not an extra step you have to memorize, but it's one more moving part on a firearm that you don't need. It's not required. It doesn't have to be there. So why is it there? The XD without any safeties is just as safe as any Glock or any SIG or any 1911 with the safety on. It's just that safe. Now, let's talk about loaded chamber indicators. First and foremost, people who don't know that the Glock does in fact have a loaded chamber indicator don't know Glocks very well. The extractor here is a loaded chamber indicator. It has a piece on it that sticks out when there is a round in the chamber. But the main point of this is, if you rely on a loaded chamber indicator to tell you the condition of your pistol, you have created a crutch for yourself. Common sense tells you should know the condition of your pistol at all times. When I go to bed at night, I know the condition of not just this pistol, but every pistol, shotgun, and rifle I own, period. I know the condition of every one of them. I know whether or not there's one in the chamber. I know whether or not there's a magazine in the gun. I know exactly what I have to do with every single firearm I own if I have to wake up in the middle of the night and grab any of them. That's just common sense, that's just good training, that's just part of being a responsible gun owner. If you're relying on a loaded chamber indicator to tell you when your firearm is loaded or has a round in the chamber, then you've created a crutch for yourself and you need to train better. So, in the end, safeties on striker-fired pistols are unnecessary, and loaded chamber indicators are just crutches. They're just a fallback. They are bad training. So, that's it, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm sure I pissed off a few people, and that was not my intention, but I wanted to answer to that comment that somehow a gun with a safety is safer than a gun without. So I appreciate those of you that did watch, and questions, comments, leave them down below, and we'll talk to you later, guys. Thanks.